Now I'm making host Meena.
Sure, sir.
Yes, you are now host.
Sure. Thank you very much. All right, Shivani is also here. Shall we start, sir?
Sure, we must start now.
All right. So, well, greetings everyone and welcome to the Informal Youth Talk Show at ICOM Family Forum. Today is Sunday, November 21st, 2021. And my name is Meena Lama, member of ICOM Nepal, and I will be serving as your moderator and host today. Today we have Miss Akansha Wadwani with us, and she will be sharing her life experiences. By profession, she is an art academician and an art manager. She has worked with various reputed institutions such as Dalit Kala Academic Ministry, Neve Art Center, Center of Arts, and many more. And she has a background in applied arts, art history, and art management. Currently, she is working with World University of Design as assistant professor with School of Visual Arts. Well, let's welcome everybody. And today we will be doing a little bit something different. I would like to propose that maybe we, like everyone can actually, introduce themselves. Perfect. Is that okay? Javed sir, I would like to start with you. Could you introduce yourself a little bit, like name and then, like where you live and designations and all. Short introductions.
So you have pocketed Dr. Dhan, so participant must tell their country name. So, well, I'm from Pakistan. I'm Muhammad Akhtar Javed. I'm from Pakistan. So I was working on the position of Director General on the position of Director General Pakistan Museum of Natural History, and then we started with this international virtual conference thing when I retired. So I started this thing. So I live in Bahawalpur. Bahawalpur is a city of Pakistan. So it is a desert area. It's a sandy desert area. So I live there, and it is thanks to the technology that even in a remote city of Pakistan, I am with Jew people. You see, one cannot imagine when we were kids, we cannot imagine even there was no television at that time. You see, so we heard that there is some radio is coming on on that radio screen we will see the faces of the actors and all these things. So we assumed our small radio and its speaker area that was a very nice, clothes with beautiful tapestry. So we thought that on that place there will be a picture. So finally, black and white television we have seen, and then so progress from there, and now we are in a technology where we can talk to you anytime, and we can call you, and we can make a video call, and we see you people. I'll say it's a bigger leap jumps here. So we had it, yes. So thanks to all, and you kids definitely will be seeing more than that when you will be at our age, you see. So thank you very much, Akansha. She has given us time. We are so grateful to her, and we think that we must know each other, and this world must not be isolated. Okay, so we must be open for everyone. So I definitely would like to keep in touch, and also I would advise all our say youth to keep in touch with each other, so the things
Right.
will become easier. So we have a seniors like Dr. Dhan here and many others, so you must keep in touch with them too. So this is a process, this is a word, it's a learning. When you start life understanding the things, so you have already observed when you cannot speak, you cannot walk, you cannot sit, and you just observed with your eyes that she is my mother, perhaps. Right? So it's a learning. It's a word of learning. So you have to learn at till your destiny. Okay, till your destiny. I don't know about above that what is going to happen, but I think this learning process will also be there too, where we
All
are.
right.
We will proceed. So thinking that I have started this program, and then also make a ICOM family forum where we can meet each other and we can know about each other, ICOM senior members and ICOM members, ordinary members. So all members on one place you can get that. So this was the concept that there should not be a shyness to contacting each other, right?
Yes,
So
true.
they member now see this program and see the youth active, and they appreciate it a lot, and they now learn who is Akansha and who is Meena and where they are at that time. So it doesn't matter about me where I am at this time, because I'm mm, close to you people hearts. Okay, so
Thank you, sir.
yeah, so this is what, if you want to ask me more, but I think it's a day
This
of
is enough.
Akansha, so we must
All
listen
right.
Akansha.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Okay, thank you.
So with the introduction program, could Priya ma'am tell us about herself? Very short, very short introduction is enough.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Meena. Thank you so much. Am I real audible? Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Mrs. Priya Madnani, and I'm a homemaker. I'm a mom to 3 kids, and my daughter is approaching almost, she'll be just handling very soon into Akansha's shoes, I would say. So excitedly, this is it. I am working upon my own betterment day by day. I'm a very spiritualist woman. So that's it.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you to you all as well. And it was very nice to hear Mr. Javed as well. He looks like a very warm and a very comfortable person within all of us, as if we've known him before.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. So next is Tansar. Could you please introduce yourself? Sir, we cannot hear you. Your microphone is off.
Sorry. My name is Dhanwad Kumar. Actually, I write as Dana Kumar. I was a professor in Tribhuvan University, Center Department Head also. Then before I was in Saraswati campus also. And right now I am the museum and side by side ICOM Nepal Vice Chair. And there are other institutions also where I involve, but actually I live in Kathmandu. So I don't have to say nothing. I have just 34 years I teach in university. Then after I have retired right now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ms. Neelam Wadwani. Could you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. I'm pretty sure it's in the afternoon time out there, wherever you guys are located. I am based in Perth. Perth is one of these cities in Australia towards the Western Australian side. And apart from that, I practice as a psychologist. I'm a new mom too. I've resumed work here pretty early on. And it's nice to hear everyone, primarily people from all areas of life, and of course, a lot of academicians that I see here. So looking forward for the session.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And also congratulations to you. Next is, could Ozma ma'am introduce yourself? Sorry, we cannot hear you. I think there is some technical issues. Sorry. We will get back to you. So through the introduction program, we would like to, other participants also introduce themselves. Could Vishal sir introduce himself? Sorry, your microphone is off. Sorry, your microphone is off.
Sorry, I'm not,
It's okay.
such a smart player of this technology. And I'm myself Vishal Madnani, and I'm a family to Akansha, Neelam, and Priya. I'm Priya's husband and the eldest brother-in-law to the family. And I'm a businessman, and I'm looking forward to this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next is Mr. Aditya. Could you please introduce yourself? Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Well, I don't know what to say. My name is Aditya Banerjee, and I was with the ASI of India. And then one fine day I got bored and I left. Okay. And I'm into independent research right now. And I'm working on my book on Buddhism. And since I consider myself to be a bad boy, so trying to be a good boy right nowadays.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Okay.
Thank you. That would be all.
Thank you very much. Next would be Sir Khadga Thapa. Could you please introduce yourself? Maybe he couldn't hear me. Could Shivani ma'am actually introduce herself? Hello? Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
My name is Shivani Aditya Banerjee. I am an independent researcher. I am working on tangible and intangible heritage and British era buildings and cemeteries. That's all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Short and sweet.
Thanks for Mama Javed Akhtar sir. Yeah, he gives me this beautiful opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Next is Buma ma'am. Could you please introduce yourself? Hello. Okay. Seems like there are a few technical issues. I actually wanted to propose this introduction so that, like everybody would feel familiar with each other. Generally it's the moderator and the speaker. We keep on asking questions and answering each other, and it's like we only interact, but then everybody else is silent, right? Right.
Meena ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I'm Khadga Thapa.
Right. Namaste.
I'm Khadga Thapa, ICOM National Committee, Nepal. I am the treasurer of the National Committee, Nepal. And I have involved other various institutions too.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now, without further ado, let us start our program with Akansha. Seems like we have, spent a lot of time. All right. Akansha, your microphone is off. Could you please turn it on?
Yes. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this with us. I'm sure, Meena, and I'm gonna keep entertaining you for this evening. And
All right.
a very warm and welcoming evening to all. And let's just start, Meena.
All right. So, you know, a very, very simple question. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Akansha. In a simple way, I'm Akansha Wadwani, currently working at World University of Design as an assistant professor. And I'm very passionate about paper crafts and also fundings. And my energies are contagious. That is what I can say. If you stay with me, you'll figure it out. Very positive, and I keep getting this thing that my energies are contagious, and I let people flow with my energies.
Oh.
I hope that suffices
Nice.
your answer for the time being.
All right. So what about your family? Could you tell us about your family too?
Yes, please. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. Out of the 2 sisters are right here with me, and the third one is here with you people. And I have an elder brother, and my parents are with me. Both my sisters are married. One is in Australia, one is in Kanpur, and they're my very big pillar of support in terms of guiding me, mentoring me, helping me to follow my passions. So on this public forum, I need to really thank them. That thanks for being with me always and motivating me.
All right. Thank you, all the sisters and family. Also, you know, regarding the congratulations, I think there are more congratulations on the way.
Yes.
So Akansha is getting engaged, right?
Akansha is already engaged. She's
Already
going to get
engaged.
married. Yeah.
She's getting married. So congratulations to you about that too. All right.
Thank you so much, darling. Thank you.
We would be happier if we could actually attend your marriage.
Please, please. We would love to have you people around, including Javed sir and everybody on the portal. Please do join us.
All right. Anyway, well, all the jokes aside. So, you know, like, I think a lot of people know about this, that, you know, people have some sort of, you know, a post in their mind, like we would like to be something like this or that. Like we watch movies, we play video games, go to school and colleges, and we have some sort of idea about what we want to be. So did you have any, you know, idea about like what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Okay, so when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Wow.
And I thought that will give me more voice and people would hear me. But with time, I realized that maybe that thing I don't connect with. Arts and management I connected with more. And hence, I picked up art appreciation and post that art management. But the whole idea of being, while I look back myself during my childhood days or my early teens, I always wanted that people should be able to hear me out, or they should understand where I'm coming from, or why is this coming. So that idea was there. And I think I'm able to do justice what I'm doing currently.
All right. So actually what triggered you? Sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. No.
What actually inspired you to, you know, towards this field, like towards the art and all?
So I was an avid crafter. I was used to do a lot of crafts since my childhood. And so when I was growing up, I had hardly any understanding, or there were hardly people in around my vicinity to guide me how to differentiate between arts and craft. But then slowly, gradually, I realized it. Craft could be a hobby, but it could not be something which you'll take it as a career. So to keep it aligned with my career, I picked up, which was very close, was arts and curation. And hence, I think I can balance both of them. And during my very, you know, time which is spare, or when I'm too low, I love to just do paper crafts, which really push me off.
All right. So it's kind of like your hobby as well as something you would like to enjoy, right?
Yeah, right. The passion together.
So besides your sisters and your family, who are the most influential people in your life?
So that is something, so if I start my journey from school days, I had a teacher called as Miss Anjali Mendi Datta. She had really inspired me. I used to look forward to her. Then during my grad years, there was again a teacher, Dr. Gayatri Mathur. She's currently working with Lalit Kala Academy, Ministry of Culture. She was the one who I was used to look forward as to be a woman like her, very simple, but very precise and straight. To have that quality, what you really wanted to say, very straight, and make sure that it is being understood by people without making them feel anything which is not comfortable in their zone, is also something which I've learned from her. Then during my master's program, there was this female college Professor Nusrat Kazmi. She has also inspired me big time. Then during my working days, when I just started to work, there was this my boss, Professor Aruna Matthew. She had really inspired me. So, and then post that, I had this one when I was again working in a different set of organization. Rather, I went to London. There were two professors, again inspired me a lot. But the chain was, which I really find the qualities which really made me inspired was, which kept me connected if I try and look the dots, is that everybody was very sensitive, but at the same time, they know it what they really wanted from life.
Wow.
So that was something that really made me feel that, oh, this is something which really makes me feel connected to all these women. And like, I'm not saying that I don't like men or I don't get inspiration from men, but the priority is towards women more. And at pedestal, I'll keep my dad, because he keeps me going and he keeps me giving that lot of persistence to me, that I get the persistence from my dad, and the activity of being hardworking and being grounded from my mother.
Sounds very interesting. Would your sisters or your family member like to, share anything about you regarding your childhood or your adulthood, anything?
The forum is open to them.
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing a bit. So, of course, like I completed my education from India. So there was this trend. I think it's very common in the South Asian cultures that you have cities that you would eventually plan to go to for your future education. So back then, of course, I completed my schooling from the same city that we all have our family housing, and eventually moved to Delhi for our education. So I'd moved, and then of course I did my grad, my postgrad. I was working, current to my PhD program, and then while I was doing my PhD, got engaged, and then we decided that we'd move to Australia. So me and my partner, we had moved here. He had landed before me, so he had a good understanding of the culture. He had work friends. He had other set of groups, or possibly there was a good social network for him. When I moved in, I was in my own space, and of course, being a woman of color, it took me a lot of time to kind of settle in a new space, and I had my own hiccups. I think just this very platform, the way Javed sir was connoting that technology has brought us much closer to the people that we think could be our support network. I reckon in the older times, when people used to migrate, eventually when they didn't have such technologies in place, they were like just banking on Skype, or maybe like writing emails to their family and friends, and that was their source of inspiration to just be alive and up and going. However, when I had moved in, we had cell phone, we were using WhatsApp and FaceTime, and there were phones to connect to my soul say inspirer, or possibly my consistent support was Akansha at that point in time, because each time when I used to have a tiff with my partner, or possibly things were not going great career wise, like it was just the beginning for me to settle yourself in a new country and stuff like that. I think she used to be my Agni aunt. Is like, oh my god, this is not working, oh my god, this is happening, oh my god, my partner is so bad, oh my god, this is so she was this person who was to constantly motivate me. And then we were in different time zones, because she was in London by then and I was in Australia. Like, she literally had moved out before my wedding, so like she'd gone 6 months by the time, like, I think she flew in the month of September or something, and I got married in January. So we were just 6 months apart. Like, she had moved to London and I'd come here. So we were literally in a different time zone. Like, when I used to call her, she was like, literally, it's like, 1-ish here and whatever. And I used to be calling her like 10 in the morning, my time. Right. But then she was more than happy and willing to always be very open to discuss, the state I am in, or possibly give me insights about how things could be and showing me the brighter side of life. So I think she was a good support, no second thought about it. And I wish I could have been her elder one in this space, but then she's more resilient. Like I think the exposure that she's got, that has made her more resilient. And at the same time, she's a Leo, so she's more resilient than all of us.
All right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's for me.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, and she does inspire so many people. Like, so all of us have got this opportunity of working some of the other time, like, just after finishing college or whatever, XYZ. I remember she had picked up work much earlier than me in the career journey or whatever. And she was helping one of these girls. I recall, I don't have a name at the top of my head, but this girl had just joined as her assistant. And she was working for, again, one of these art galleries. I literally don't have her name at the top of my head, but I remember she literally groomed her. She facilitated that girl's needs. She facilitated her growth, her professional growth. I used to feel very awestruck the way she was grooming her. And then I asked her, like, look at her. She doesn't have even skills. She's not qualified, and she's just working as an assistant. She was just like more of an assistant because Akansha was managing a big gallery by then and everything. So she was like, as a woman leader, it's my job that she is my assistant. She looks forward to be in the place, and she gets motivated because of me to come to work. She doesn't have skill, but it's my job as a woman to support her so that she can grow. And she has that sense of persistence to come to work every day. Otherwise, she'll be lost. Like, she'll just pick up any random job and she might not even have the exposure. So that was kind of an inspiration and eye-opener to me also, that irrespective of the fact that she had started her career, like this was literally her second wing or a second swing of work, but she had picked up on those leadership qualities pretty well and pretty early on. So yeah, that has been a good learning. And she's always a giver. Like literally, if somebody knows her from her personal circle, not professionally. Professionally, of course, she might sound very up straight and like, upright there. But primarily as a person, when you know her in her personal capacities, she's a giver, no second thought about it.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts. It's very nice. There are times, right? Like when you like to motivate others too. Like some people have actually motivated us, and it feels really nice, I think. And I think you have experienced that a lot compared to me. My another question is,
before you go to put another question, I think
right?
Neelam must tell us how naughty she was in.
Yes, true.
You are forgetting these aspects, I think.
More than being naughty, I think she's an explorer. And that is the reason she's where she is right now, irrespective of the fact, likewise, the South Asian culture primarily is a very patriarchal culture. And no second, I think every one of us has some of the other phases in our lives have felt it, whether it's not directly from the family or from the workplaces or the kind of spaces that we have been in, in our social circles, or maybe where we were educated. It is a patriarchal society, but I think just because she is an explorer and she knows where she should be directing her energies to, so she has been very focused. So we can't say that she has been naughty, but when she plans something, it is supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
That's her way of life.
Yeah, that's
so
very intense.
very channelized, very focused, and in a positive way. So that has landed her into a lot of good opportunities throughout life. And I think she's been a role model for very many women around her, literally very many people around her.
So Akansha, tell us, what have you done that your family members don't know about, but you have done something which was very enjoyable, or something not to your character?
Okay. I'm sure my sisters must have known about that fact because I don't hide things from them at least. But probably parents must have not. That's a different thing. And really, which is not me, and I've still done it, is I think it was an incident in Venice, I believe. And I was upset. I was really upset in the terms that language was a barrier and nobody was ready to help. And then, but then sometimes what happens that when you think you're at the lowest and people are not ready to help you. So there was this guy, Bangladeshi person, and then he finally, I think he could have read my face or something, and he could have understood I'm really broken and I've lost my luggage. My SIM card wasn't working. I had just my passport, my currency in hand, nothing else. And my laptop was there. I was there for a conference. And I was like literally disappointed. Nobody was ready to help me. But then at that moment, also at that time, that Bangladeshi men, he was a luggage keeper. So Venice has this thing that you have small lockers, and people at the port, they help you to keep your luggage because there are a lot of bridges. People come there for a day trip, so a lot of people keep their luggage there. So that men gave me a source of inspiration. I mean, I will not say that this is an incident which could be considered something, but this was the first time I've trusted some men beyond my, area of conviction, and that men really pacified me. He really made me sit down. He didn't charge me any money. He gave me a glass of water to settle down my head, and then helped me out to how to figure out to get my luggage. So this was the first time. It is very difficult for me to trust men when I'm traveling abroad, which is very different from people. I'm sorry, maybe because I come from a country like that, and I am always guiding myself and helping myself. But that day I realized it. Men are really helpful. I should not be always being, making my guards up that, okay, stay away from me and you can't help me and this and that.
Yeah, true.
So that incident was an eye-opener for me, I believe. And other than that, with college fun and all, yes, I've been out for drives with friends and broke all the rules. I had given money to people and then drank for 20,000 in a night. And that is all part and parcel of life. I think everybody does that. It's okay. Yeah.
How about changing your hair color?
I have done that too. I've done that too. And my mother had lost her really hope on me. She said, the day I told her that I'm becoming an arts manager or an artist, she had literally lost hope on me. She's like, now it's only left that you pick up a katora and go out in the market because you are not going to make money. You are literally not going to make money. So it took me some time to make her understand that I will make money, don't worry. And now she's the happiest. Now she keeps telling it, my daughter is this, she keeps doing that, this and that.
Right.
So she's happy. So things that, but I think it comes in with Indian family, and it's very normal. I will not call it that they are doing drama around it. It's very normal to act like that because they're just being overprotective towards you. That's it.
Yeah. Mothers are like that, I think. It's not only in India, it's also in Nepal.
Everywhere, I believe. Yeah, so true. So true.
They are mostly, scared for us because they think that, like we are not physically very strong. We can't fight anywhere. If something happened, what they will do. So they are very, very scared. But then let me actually share you, one of the incident that I had. I think it was in 2017 when I went to Cambodia by myself, it was before that I used to travel with my brother or my, father, and I had few friends in Cambodia. So I traveled there and, my mom and dad, my whole family, they just, made a very short ceremony and they just said that, okay, have a good luck and all. And then I went there, and after 2 weeks, I came back and my mom actually shared me this, very interesting story. So my mom, she told me that my dad was, very, very, very sensitive at that time when, I actually traveled alone because, he was saying that, to my mom that I'm very young, very, very small, very young. And how could she will manage in a foreign country by flight? And also, there is no one to receive her, or like she don't know where to go. Like he was very
add
sensitive
this on
about
it,
this.
Meena. You wouldn't believe what happened when I received my scholarship from London. My dad wasn't able to accept the fact that I've received my scholarship. So he was continuously calling Priya. He was continuously calling Neelam. Are you sure this is the right college? This is the London University College. How can they can give such a big amount of scholarship to her?
Right.
And then when they pacified her, no, she has received the scholarship. He was like continuously checking, please check. I think these people are making fool to her. How will she go by herself? This and that. And then the day when he was there to drop me at the airport, he was throbbing in tears. I was like, how will I just go? It was so difficult for me to leave at that moment. And he kept on crying that throughout the night. When I called him, I landed and called him at 4ish. And he was still crying. I was like, what's wrong? Don't make it so difficult for me to even just, just be there and study. But then with time, he could understood that. But then it's so true with the parents. To detach your kids, it's a task for them.
No, but then, like generally we hope that it's the mom. Like mom are very, very sensitive towards their children, right? But then generally we see our father being very strong, and then like not showing their emotions and all, but then finding about like how sensitive they feel about us, like traveling, about us growing up, doing our own stuff, and then also like being very sensitive about it. It's kind of like I don't know like how to say it. It's very interesting for me.
It's cute to just see them like that.
Right. Okay, so you have colored your hair. Which color?
I did a very beautiful burgundy color, which is an Indian color. I don't know how to call it. It's more of a color which maybe I'm wearing this ways, this thing. So it was little off the track. I've even made my hair short. I've literally made my hair short. I mean, short in terms that I was continuously asking my sister, because we were staying together at that time, will you vouch for me if my mom goes mad? Like, go and do it. It's okay. You just do it. Just do it. She'll go mad post that. Just do it. So during my master's program, I literally got my hair short, literally short, because that was the time I was a little rebel killer. I need to make a difference in the world, this and that. I need to be here. I want to attend all of things. I can do this. I can do that. Now I look back to the energies I had that time. I've really mellowed down. Trust me.
So you don't have any interest of, again, changing your hair or your style?
I think nothing. I think these are just external factors. What really matters, I've realized, is what you do, what you write, and what you say. It has nothing to do with, these are completely external factors. That's it.
You're maturing very, very fast. For me, I get so inspired, every time I watch some new music video or a movie or a drama, like, oh, I want to dye my hair white or silver or maybe pink or maybe red, like I get very, very inspired. But then because of all the work and, the career wise, I have never dyed my hair.
I'll share a very funny experience. It was never used to happen when I was used to work at the corporate time, that I can wear anything at the office, or I can be any dressy or non-dressy or combed or uncombed, oily, unoily hair, whatever, straight, unstraightened hair. It was never used to bother me. But now when I go to college, I don't want to be a bad role model for my students. Can you beat that? It was never used to happen with me before. Now I make sure that I am specifically I'm conducting myself in a specific manner that they see that this is a role model we look upon to. And there are times at college, I cannot be myself in terms that even I have to have a moment of laughing over a call. I make sure my students are not around.
Wow.
So this is something I'm really careful, I think, consciously with my students. I don't want to give them anything or a wrong impression of anything in life. But again, that is very wrong at my part, because they should see what real me is also.
Yes, true.
But then I don't know why does that happen every time.
Well, because of career, there are a lot of restraints that we have to follow. Like, I had to go for field visits and all in villages for survey and questionnaires and all. So I couldn't have a red hair and wearing with jeans or skirts and going to a village. That is not practical at all. First thing, it's very tough. We have to walk like 2 or 3 days and reach the destination and do the work. And with hair like that and dressing like that, it's very tough, managing everything. But then, like when I used to teach in school, there are a few experiences. Like the school actually allowed female teachers to wear pants, which was not very common before. Like most of the female teachers used to wear sari or kurtas, very formal wear, But then by the time I was teaching, so at that time they actually allowed female teachers to wear pants. I mean formal pants. And well, I used to have my hair like this itself without makeup. I actually can't, use my time putting on makeup and then, getting ready and then scheduling stuff. So my students, they used to tell me like, you are the only teacher who looks very cool because of the pants and the way, like my hair was like this. So they used to think that most of the teachers are very formal, they have a very different picture about teachers, but then maybe because, we are from different time, it was kind of like, it was nice hearing those things, like, telling me that the younger generation finds me cool. That is something which I don't, imagine, because generally most of my brothers and sisters, they used to tell me that, oh, you are like, senior citizen. You should get, a reserved seat for yourself in a bus when you are traveling. But then while teaching school, when they used to tell me that, oh, you are one of the coolest teacher in our school, I used to feel like so happy.
So great. So
Right. No, it's just, but I think it's about personality, right? Like whatever you are, if you show it, it's all about, the communication, nothing different like from what we are. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So besides all this happy stuff, what actually, disappointed you in your life? Like any disappointing, moments in your life?
I think there were many. I wouldn't say that it was hardly any. There were many disappointing moments. Soon after bachelor's, taking master's into a public university or a government university, how we pick up, it was tough. It was very tough, because when I was at a private university, things were very greener there. It was a very protective environment. Friends were cool. Faculty was very protective. Best of everything was there. But soon as I picked up, because it was my conscious decision to go to a government university, because I had reviewed from a lot of people that government university gives you better exposure. You tend to make more contacts, and you tend to see the real art world, how things are operating there. And at the public or the private university, things come very filtered. So I wanted to experience that. So it was a cultural shock for me, to be honest. It was indeed a cultural shock, because I'll share there were small incidences. For example, if I used to drink cola during my lunch break, people were used to give me very, very difficult looks that how can I drink a cola? So this was something which made me, maybe initially 2 months, it was difficult for me to understand why people are making me feel so uncomfortable. But then with time, I realized that we are two different set of people. And to be with that set of people, I have to really be with them and be one of those. If I have to, I have to be sugar in the milk rather than being the stone in the milk, So it took me some time. Then I realized how they were eating, how they want me to be. Then I stopped taking my lunches. Then I used to sit with them and eat lunches. So initially 2 months was difficult for me. And also it was difficult for them to be more open to accept someone as an outsider, because it gave me, that was the first time I felt other being in my own country. And at the same time, the university was very conservative, but people in the university was very liberal. To even understand the dynamics also took me some time. So it was an eye-opener. Yeah, it was a beautiful journey. It has made me altogether very enriched as an individual. and I think that was important. If that would have not happened in my life, where I am today would have not been possible. So I'm really grateful how challenging those 2 years would have been, but how meaningful or thoughtful or enriching my journey would have been is because of those 2 years.
What
Very
were the
grateful.
major differences? Like what, when you look at the private as well as the government universities, what were the actual, like differences, physical
So
differences
I'll
that
just,
you could see?
the differences which could I completely understand is the way I was used to dress and the way they were used to dress, it was very different. Probably it was modern and traditional understanding of clothes. So with time, I had started enjoying more traditional wear than being modern wear when I was leaving my college. That was one thing which was a huge cultural shock for me. Then second thing was, for example, if I was used to spend $100 a day, they were used to spend a 5 rupees or 10 rupees a day. So I have to understand that with the minimum of bare resources, you can live life. When I started traveling with them in buses, was used to take 3 rupees of a ticket and be with them. So these were the experiences I have learned with them with time. And then I realized it, you can live your life in the very little also and be the bestest of it. And education was something, because I was very comfortable in English always. So probably that was used to be my all-time language, but people were not comfortable. So that made me realize it, that I don't have to use this language always until and unless it is in the classroom. To be with the people, to feel with them and around them, I have to be using my local language. So it took me some time, to be very honest. And maybe if I would have found people who were more welcoming and they would have guided me, not this is the way you should follow and rather that is the way you should follow, it would have been easier. But I'm still grateful that I didn't found that people in that journey, and it made me help me to figure out my own channel and path. If it had been very guided, then I would have been very very one-sided understanding of things how are. But then this made me realize that whatever decisions I made during that time, they were mine, and I take full charge of that, and with full integrity. I'm happy about it.
So Akansha, what do you think, that artists should go to the government universities or private universities?
They should completely go to the government university. I am in love with that idea, because the amount of exposure, the amount of sensitivity, groundedness, the amount what people think or artists perceive their ideas, they only get it if you are in that environment. And I'm not saying
the whole world is
that,
open. The whole world is open before artists. If I may, they are almost, when they go to university, they are in mature age. So observations. So they have already a lot of observation, and then they can go anywhere in their country or in a world to observe more people and all these things. Why do you think then still the government university is good for them?
See, private universities are very protective. They are very protective.
So that's very nice if they are protective, isn't it?
No, it's not nice. A beautiful flower can only bloom if it's in the bushy area, I believe. If it has been gardened by the gardener every time, the flower will not get the real beauty of it, I believe.
There is one
every
point.
time.
There is one point I see, that when you go to government universities, there is not much burden on your parents' pocket. So,
yes,
so you
true.
should go to government university.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Oh, and additionally, for me, my experience was slightly different. I actually went to one of the oldest government, college here. And, the experience was like, our classrooms used to be like desks and benches, right? Like in a horizontal way. But then when I went to a government college, it was like Munawai type, like when you watch that Munawai college, the medical college. So they had this sitting,
auditoriums, circular.
So
right. That was so interesting.
When you were a child, Akansha, but how many games you know now you have played at that time?
Played a lot of volleyball. That was something I really enjoyed playing with
Volleyball,
friends.
it's a, oh my God.
Yeah, I
Volleyball.
really enjoyed that. Had got so many bruises without, used to be bruised from everywhere. Someone scratched mine, yeah, and used to wear glasses since childhood.
Yeah,
Sometimes the glasses used to go off and you used to get
yeah,
bruised. And
usually, this is the
yeah,
cause. Usually girls do not play much
yeah,
volleyball and all these things.
Mhm.
So,
played,
do you have a Gudiya game in your childhood? It's a, with the very fantastic dolls we used to, our grandmothers used to make those dolls and gave it to us. There will be a
yeah,
Gudda and Guddi, and then the two sisters are together. Maybe Neelam can answer us. The one sister has a
Yeah.
goodie and one sister has a gudda, and they start say, marrying
Wedding?
them and all. So, did you play that?
I think Neelam and Jyoti Didi, both of them, I mean Priya Didi, both of them would have experiences to share. And we have a childhood story also around it where I've had, where Neelam Didi had made me really bold.
So, what do you
Oh,
think about the art today in India?
Mhm.
Is
What do I
there
think about
any
art?
scope for future generation to say go beyond that expertise and create something different or change the styles and change the say this education system for artists and all these things? So normally our society, the concept in our society that artists are free people. They don't have,
Mhm.
they don't do anything good, but just they waste their time. And so this is a just concept everywhere in the world that artists are not so productive. But now, now it is changing a little bit
Mhm.
because there's a lot of financiers in it, and they are buying and selling paintings, and so artists are very happy to get say 2 to 8 lakh rupees per painting in their pocket. They're happy. So now it's happy. But what do you think? What is the future of art in India?
I think future is very, very, very progressive. Unlike the earlier times when artists were still looking to create an opportunity for themselves, but things have really changed. Because I think why the dynamics have changed, because there are a lot of smaller organizations have pitched in. And when smaller organizations pitch in, there are a lot of smaller artists also who are getting an opportunity to be displayed at different platforms. You know, like Pulp Society or Art Centric. These are the organizations we have not heard 5 years back. Now they are giving young artists residential spaces to work, give them subsidies to produce their artworks, and also at the same times to put their artworks on display. What an artist need, he just needs some workspace and also a good space to exhibit. So when his basic needs are being catered, he is at the most happiest place. So artists, unlike uh, earlier times where he was just look around that he should get some space where he can work and then find out galleries who are helping them to exhibit works. But now the culture has really been changed. Artists have realized it, people have realized it, that this is a two-way bridge. Artists can't live without galleries, galleries can't live without artists. So they have realized the fact that they had to be at power with each other. Before it was very different. Gallery was used to overpower artists, but now they've mellowed down and people coming lot of in picture, like lot of independent art organization coming in picture, artist association coming in picture, different residential spaces coming in picture. So things have really been changing, and also now the current NFTs are in picture. So they need a lot of youth, because they can give them an understanding that how digital world is operating and how to make money with it, unlike the earlier times, and the conduct how the they were used to conduct.
Do you have your own studio, or you just go to some gallery and use their room for painting and all these things?
Javed sir, I don't paint, to be honest. I do a lot of
Oh,
paper
yeah,
crafts, but
you are designer.
Yeah, I am a full-time curator and an art academician.
Great.
But also with that, I have a small studio where I keep doing a lot of my creative bent of producing craft and artworks together. Now I have really enjoyed doing bit of craft, which are the hint of art, because as you see a lot of art in the market, you get to understand that you also have that ability, and you can also do more to your crafts.
Yeah.
So I still don't call them my artworks. I still call them my craft works. So yes, I do practice them at home. I have a little studio at home.
That's great.
Yeah.
Over to Meena.
Yeah.
Meena, you have a question, I think.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Hello.
actually about the topic itself, like how the art scenario has actually changed from the past till present. Could you actually tell us about that?
I'll just add a little more to it. As I was mentioning, things have gone really progressive. When I say down the line, half a decade back, when I was in master's program, they were not very independent residential spaces coming up, or there were very less youth were daring to pick up their own spaces or inviting artists for talk shows or exchanging ideas, or in general, like for example, now there are a lot of artists who invite artists who have just come from residencies from different countries to just share if they have some tricks and tips to give them around print media or photography, which is maybe for a younger artist is not possible to get it because he or she wasn't a part of that residency. So yes, people have become more open, people have become more progressive, people have become more giving, which was very less, if I think half a decade back, because artist is first, I would say artist A is very shy. He doesn't want to come out of his comfort zone. B, probably resources was the first challenge which they were used to face. And third, to how to make a living. But then when a lot of government organizations or independent organizations are catering their immediate needs, they are also ready to be there in the market and share their ideas. And I think post-COVID or just COVID, being at the COVID, the COVID had really made people come close. Too much of closeness is there because artist was never very comfortable speaking on the camera, but because of a lot of Zoom calls and a lot of Google Meets happening or just informal chit chat happening, artists have become really more comfortable to talk about it. Yeah.
So they are right. Sorry, they are also comfortable with using the whole digital platform and all, right?
Yeah, I think COVID is in, we can say was more blessings rather than a curse or a disguise, what people want to pick it up. I understand the pandemic had made people really, shattered. A lot of families have been distorted but as humans, we have to look forward in life and, there should be a ray of hope for everyone to look forward. It had made us more accepting in nature, and the word gratitude had made us feel more obliged towards nature because we all have learned to live in the bare minimum of things.
Yeah, I think Meena, we invite other participants too if they want to they want to join this discussion. So it's better that we have multi style of this talk show, this multi style of talk show.
Yes, sure, sir. So the platform is open.
Please.
So anybody, if they have any question, please, you can actually ask a question or type your question in the chat box, and we will go through it.
No, get in. There's no question. Just get in.
Okay.
Yeah, they get in into the negotiation.
Hi, Meena.
Right.
Hello. Hi, Meena.
Hi.
Can you listen me?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Very nice conversation with Akansha. And thank you so much. And sorry for my mic. And
No worries.
Really, it's good for organized ICOM and your collaboration with Talk Daily, and we conversation with each other, and I know about each other very well. And thank you, Meena. You are organized and you are very good in your
how much marks you give to Meena?
It's like 100%.
100%?
Wow. Yes.
I thought you would say 200%.
I didn't bribe her. Javed sir, I didn't bribe her.
Akansha, where is your father? Is he around?
No, my father hasn't joined, but my brother-in-law was there on the call. I don't know. But my sister Priya is here. You can shoot her some questions.
Yeah, Priya. Where is Priya? Priya? Hello, Priya?
She has left, I think.
Okay.
Yes, she has left. But that is fine. So, Ozma, if you have any question.
You see, this is also in between the sisters. So Neelam took the
right
class,
now,
so she minded. So she left the.
Yeah.
Neelam, she left because of you.
Not at all. Completely not at
all. Okay.
Javed sir, you might make them fight among themselves.
So
I wish I could say that she left because of me. Eventually, when I'm there, she's like, "Oh, she's the pacifier. She'll manage."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
so much trust.
Yeah, it's I have seen my sisters. So sometimes I feel myself, I am an elder one in family, but sometimes I feel myself out of the group. You see? So they are so close with each other. You see? They do the things, but temporarily if they make complaints and all these things. So at that time, one is making complaint to me and other is also making complaint. So I feel little bit happy from inside. Okay, now where is your group? Okay, so but finally they make it themselves. So. Sisters, there's no question about sisters, fathers, mothers, and brothers, and all these things. There's a family, it's very close to your heart.
Right.
So they are all the time available to you whenever you call them, you see. Otherwise, they they are a little bit naughty too. So so what do you think education system of art in India?
I think
do you think you want to change that system? And what you want to introduce on that place?
I think change is a very big word.
Hello.
And,
change
is a very big word. And a change cannot be introduced in a day. So being if and when I had the powers, or God give me the grace to have the powers, there are certain things which needs to be shifted, or we have to unlearn those learning, because every time accepting the fact that following the Western culture or Western studies to do the basic of art or art history is something we need to start questioning, because Indian history or South Asian history has a lot to serve. I'm not saying that not to acknowledge the part what Western history has to give to us, but at the same time, we cannot let not be at power to Indian or South Asian histories. So we need to unlearn certain things, and we need to accept that what we have it is equally beautiful and equally enriching rather than just, this is a very understatement that, okay, when I am there at the university, it takes a lot of time for our professors to even understand, or our deans to make them understand that Indian history is important. They're like, Western history kar to rahe hain, we are doing Western history, why do you want to introduce Indian history? So I have a quarrel with most of them times that, why don't you understand that India is there in them, So if they are practicing it or learning about it or talking about it also, that would be much, much more beautiful than introducing them, which is again a Western concept, and then learning them. So it is a lot of unlearning needs to be done. And at a lot of times, for example, our students are not being introduced to community management projects or art management understandings, or how insurances are being worked into art world, or how independent art organizations have been operating in terms of residential spaces, or how artists can look for fundings, or what are gallery studios, or what are cultural studios, or how government is helping independent artists. These are things a lot of our artists are not been introduced at the college time. So these are basic learnings, they need to be introduced. And I would say they don't have it. It just, they are not being parted with that gift of knowledge at their college times. If they have been parted that knowledge at a very right time, I think their life could be a little more simpler and uncomplicated, which becomes post just after their undergrad programs. So these are very integrities which could be introduced to them at the right age that can help them to make their life a little more easier.
Yeah, India has a very good example, I mean, for a change. So Gandhi was the man who made it, right? Who given a change to India, right? So whatever the associates were there and at that time, I don't call it, because leader is always leader. It has to be given a credit to a leader, and then the duty of leader is to give a credit to his associate or our associate, right? So Gandhi was the person who brought a change in India. So what do you think? Who is the Gandhi of art in India now?
I think to embrace that title, only one person which really hits my head is currently Bose Karmacharya, the director to Kochi Museum Biennale. He has been really inspirational, really visionary to take Indian art to different platforms. I think I'm not speaking his second name correctly. His Bose, I'm not sure his second name correctly, but Mr. Bose. And he is one of the director to Kochi Museum Biennale. But this man has really bring a change in Indian art world, and not just in terms of getting Biennale to India, because there was used to happen Trinale, Lalit Kala was used to have host Trinales, and Lalit Kala has also introduced print Biennale. But to host a Biennale like Kochi Museum Biennale of such a value, which creates globally, is really appreciable at his end. And collectively thinking and being a visionary is something really commendable, and learning. I mean, I think I really need to learn from his understanding that how beautifully he has managed, because being Kochi as a geographically, if you think it's on the coast, it was being hit by the rains very badly. I would say on the fourth Biennale, it was the fourth Biennale or the fifth Biennale, either of one of the Biennales, it was very badly hit, but still they managed to pick up. They didn't let go, or they didn't announce the delay or whatever. They still hosted it with such reputation, with such conduct, was really commendable. Obviously, they must have had a lot of their own set of challenges of, redoing the things, or getting everybody again on the platform. The funding would have been a major crunch, because when a city has been already stuck, they have to reduce the fundings. They cannot give the fundings to recreational activities. Then they have to give fundings to more immediate concerns. So maybe their immediate concern was infrastructure that time, but still they have managed to pull off such an amazing Binale. Then again, Kochi was being hit badly with COVID. They had to host another event, but then COVID hit it. So still, imagine someone is still surviving and, you know, being that strong and creating that.
What do you think? What do you think about the best funding and sporting agency in India for creative activities?
I think majorly is Ministry of Culture. They really help a lot of artists and on different platforms, whether it's about giving them annual scholarships or providing them help with the studios or providing them fundings to travel abroad to present their works or present their exhibitions, or providing them also the Ministry of Culture gives a lot of independent arts organization fundings of 5 to 7 lakhs to do a lot of international residencies. So yes, ministry is one place. Then currently ICCR has been very active, which was not initially till the last year, but this year ICCR has been very, very active and they're putting up a lot of effort and taking up the spectrum to another level, which was unlike not before. And FICCI also does a lot of things. Then Goa Serendipity is putting up a lot of things in place. So a lot of smaller organizations have also come in picture beyond Ministry of Culture, and they are also working really hard to promote artists and support artists.
Dr. Dhan has a museum. I think it's an art museum or archaeology museum, Dr. Dhan.
Culture museum.
Dr. Dhan, you
hello. Hello.
Yeah. Do you have a art museum or archaeology museum?
That's not archaeological, just museum. Ethnographic museum.
Yeah. So do you have an art museum in do you have an art museum in Nepal?
Yes, in Nepal there are in few places there are art museum also, but not in my institution, in my museum.
I see. So
that is ethnography. That is quite ethnographic museum. Just there is nearly 15 ethnic groups. Sample only.
I see. Thank you. Thank you. You say that number of museums also reflect the interest of the nation and to the activities, creative activities. So if you have a large number of art galleries and art museums, so then you see there is a lot of creative activity going on. So the things are flourishing. So they are not static or they are not going down to the level of art. So similarly, India, how many art museums are in India?
Oh, the count is infinity now, I would say, because every day you get to hear somebody else is opening a new museum. So
I tell you one joke. I want to stop you. I tell you one joke. In 1980, I was in Delhi. There was a Pragati Maidan in Delhi. It's an exhibition. So Pakistan took exhibition to that Pragati Maidan. It was the era of Indira Gandhi was the prime minister at that time. So what we have designed a cold storage box for UNESCO.
Right.
So they can the medicine can be carried to the remote areas. So it was big. So our director of Pakistan Design Institute, he was over there and he had a meeting with you have a very good design institute in Ahmedabad. So he had he had a meeting with the principal of that Ahmedabad. So he was in a good suit with tie and all these things, and he was standing and waiting for him. and he was looking for a principal of Ahmedabad Design Institute, and there is one person came. He has a bag on his shoulder, a cotton bag on his shoulder, and Kolhapuri chappal, and this kurta and pajama. And then he came and he stayed with us. So we were looking at somebody in a suit, just English suit with a so then he waited for few minutes and then he said, I'm Mr. Such and Such from, I'm the principal of, so, so very nice. We took him to there and when in front of cold storage, he asked my director that how much capacity this cold storage has. So he didn't knew. He was not expecting at all in this question. And he quickly said, sufficient. It is sufficient. So somewhere you have to say it is not countable. So it's a not countable art museums. So artists definitely for his study and for his students say transferring the knowledge to his or her student. So must have some things on tips. So one of that tips is that you have a number of art museums. I believe, I know you have a greater number of art museums in your country. So on the contrary, we have very much art, so higher number in art galleries, but not in art museums. So our regular museums has some one gallery in it, but not the art museum as a whole. So this is necessarily. So what demand creates, right? Demand creates. If we demand, then things will be there. If we do not demand, then things will not be there. You see, so this is the market principle, economy principle. So definitely, you have a very nice museum. So what do you
Just
think?
add
How
on this to
many?
what Javed sir is saying. I'll
Yes.
just add on. Very recently, I went to Goa. This was the second time I've been to Goa.
Yeah.
So why I was saying that museums have been increasing every day, that India had picked up museum at very smaller states and countries. Like Goa has picked up a museum of Goa, and it has been run by Mr. Kelkarji, and he has a lot of his ancestors who were used to paint, his father, his own son, and everybody, and they have managing it so well. They've picked up a small souvenir shop, and that place was given to him by, I believe, by the government of Goa. In the on the best of my knowledge, I know that, and how beautifully has picked up that. And then again, the museum has come up in small city like Mathura. They've got a museum. They're preserving a lot of artifacts there. And there's a small museum which has come up in Patna. So and then very recently I have heard that there's a designer called as Anita Dogre. She's coming up with a museum in Mumbai suburbs.
Yeah.
So why I said that the museums are coming up every day, the list is never ending, because people now have realized the importance of culture, which was unlike earlier, and they really want to invest on art and culture, and they want to make sure that they are parting their legacy in the right hands rather than letting it go, because there was a longer time where Indian legacy was just not being preserved well. But youth perpetually, I believe, they are really putting effort on. I will just not call youth, even the adults from an age group of 27 to 45 years, they're really putting their heart and soul to come up with smaller museums and parting their knowledge and preserving it so that it could go ahead for the legacy of their coming generation.
There is a lot of creative places, they grown
Right.
up now.
So true.
So even
So
I
I'll
have
just
given
share.
you the name of that Reena Diwan. She is working on a very creative place. So So everyone can go there and exercise the creative activities. So this is these kind of things is definitely improving the things, and of course Bengal is a more towards performing arts and
literature.
Yeah, literature and all these things. So it's quite good. So where is Meena? Where is Meena? I have given her a time that she should have tea. So over
No,
to
I'm
you.
here, sir. There are
Over
there are
to
some
you.
disturbance in the background.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, actually, I had one question. So, in your last presentation, so we actually got to, know more about the contemporary art as well as artists, but then we didn't have much more insight about the traditional art and artists. So I just wanted to, know like how, how different they are. And I mean, like what kind of differences they have in the society. Sorry, I just put off my mic because there are disturbance in the background.
Sure.
All right.
So the very evident difference which I see within the traditional artist to the contemporary artist, and I'm not going traditional artist, I'm saying like 50 years back or 70 years back, which are still there. I think the traditional artists still share a contemporary space, because they were the one who have introduced the contemporary space to the younger artist. But still they practice their traditional practices, whether it's in printmaking or photography or painting or sculpture or pottery or any other medium which maybe I am not still aware, and they're still practicing it, right? The only thing which is still evident or which I see them in while they're practicing or working is, which the younger generation doesn't have, is their discipline. It is something which we really need to learn from them. We still figure out, or I understand we have a set of commitments which are way different from them, but the way they are disciplined or the way they are practicing their art, we still need to learn a lot from them. A lot from them.
Right,
They're real
right.
gems.
I actually agree with you about this. And sorry about the disturbance at the back. I cannot do anything about that.
Pets are a bundle of joy. You don't have to apologize about it anyways. It's their way of expressing they're equally happy with us.
So,
I was thinking whose dog is always barking. So now I've found the person. It is your dog.
So they are very sensitive about outsiders. It's like they only love us. If there are anybody else, even a fly or a bird, they will start barking really bad.
Yeah, it is because you do not take them to walk, you say, in people. So you take them daily to the market and other places, so they will be fine.
Sure, sure, sir. Sure.
So yeah, but security needs that he should identify outside.
Yeah, sure,
The
sir.
choice is yours.
So
yeah, good question. Oh,
sure,
good
sir.
question. Yes.
Oh, I was actually following up with what Akansha was saying. In a Nepalese context, what we generally see is just like what you said. Generally, even here, the younger generation of artists, they are actually lacking discipline, as well as I think patience too. Like whenever I used to see these, the traditional artists who are working, a little bit of senior traditional artists, they were in a sort of a very trance, scenario. They were kind of like meditating, like whenever they were working. But then when we see the younger generation of artists, they are a little bit different. They are very playful, very, innovative, of course, but then very, very playful. And it seems like they lack, the discipline, patience that most of the traditional, artists generally have. And not only that, the major difference that we find here in Nepal is related with the use of, a digital platform. Recently, I found this, that there are a lot of traditional artists who actually don't know how to put up their, biography itself, or how to put up their work in the digital platform. So I find so many problems with the traditional artist about this, whereas the contemporary artists, they are learned in universities, so they know the art of marketing, they know the art of sales, and they are very, very proactive, compared with the traditional artists. They are whenever I see them, I feel like, I don't know, they are very, very passive, because they have this connection with the buyer, and that's it. They don't care about what people, think about their artwork. They don't care about the market value of their artwork. They don't care about, like their personality, nothing, so it's very different, and compared to them, the traditional, the contemporary artists, especially the younger generation, very stylish, like they put up themselves, they present themselves in such a way like celebrities, they have nice websites, they have their work put on, on different websites, and a lot of people know about them. So I see these type of, differences in Nepal. So do you actually see similar type of differences in India too?
Completely. I think that's the difference of generation, I think, and that's globally.
Right.
It's very globally. So to put it in simple terms, our traditional artists are comfort food, and our contemporary artists are real junkies, and so so however junk you eat, you still look forward for the comfort food. So we can't let go of our elders or the traditions or the legacy they hold for us. At the same time, we have to acknowledge the fact that what we are today is because of them. If they would have not parted, the little also, whatever they have parted to us, is because they have managed to part to us.
We have a lot of responsibility for that.
Yeah, and as we say, as we give back to society, we give back to the nature. It's our core responsibility to even be available for them whenever they need it, whether in terms of helping them to be digitally active or helping them to be at an exhibition or promoting an exhibition. And I think, I'm not sure how Nepal is putting up with their traditional artists, but I've seen in India, there's a lot of respect for traditional artists, in spite they might not be very digitally active, they might not have websites, but our national academies, they really have a good, their artist directories are really maintained, and they still keep a check on them, whether inviting them or just making sure that the New Year cards have been dropping by to their addresses, or Diwali cards have been dropping by to their addresses. So there's their little way of keeping a check on them, that you are an old artist and you are the family to a national academy. So these are little gestures of keeping a check to them and acknowledging that you are a part of us.
All right. Seems like we actually need to, follow those things. The first thing is that, art is very valuable in Nepal, but then whenever we look at the art scenario, it's mostly like people who get, bad grades are the ones who become artists. So that's how people used to, grade the artist in our society till, a few years back. It's only very, very recent that, youngsters are actually entering in the art society, and they are going to university just to learn art. So before that, it's basically people who don't study, or people who have very, very bad grade. They are the ones who become artists in the past. So the scenario has changed, but then, still the art scenario of Nepal is just developing, and, so there are a lot of things that we need to do. And also, like, we don't have too many, art museum in Nepal. So mostly it's like the National Museum, they have, selective galleries for art. And also there are various palace museums where they have designated various galleries for art. But then there are, it's kind of like we don't exactly have art museum where, you get to explore it. There are a few private ones. Like I worked for Museum of Nepali Art, where, the new generation of artists, they were consigned to, paint for the museum. So there used to be like the traditional artworks and contemporary artworks. So that was very new. But regarding the national level, we didn't have too many activities like in other countries, but the scenario is changing a lot. And just like you said, before, like whenever people say like I'm an artist, or I have art background, then people used to think, how do you feed your family? Can you even earn something? But then now the scenario has changed. There are so many colleges, university, which are paying artists to be, to give lectures, to give classes, and the artists are earning very, very well. And also, I think you know about this in Nepal, in Kathmandu, the capital city. So there is this festival, like Kathmandu Triennale. Have you heard about this?
Yes,
so
I
it's
have.
yeah, so it's an art festival, and which is actually promoting the new generation as well as the older generation of artists. And also this year we could see so many research being done. It was supposed to happen last year, but because of COVID they had to switch, shift the dates. And this is getting very intense. Before we used to think that the art is more like playful, like make some designs and make people happy, but by this time it's evolving so deeply. I mean, they are researching about the history, culture, like so many things, and turning them into art form. And that is something new for Nepalese society. And yeah, so compared to India, it's not too much, but I think slowly they will do this.
Let's
And
be hopeful.
yeah,
Let's be
right.
hopeful, and
yeah,
the scope of change is just constant. So I'm sure things.
Right.
Let's be on a.
Is art a difficult subject, or as people think
sorry, sir?
that it is very easy, take a brush and take some colors and then throw it on canvas, and that's it, art is complete. So
So
is
even
that a
Mark Rothko
difficult?
was not been made in a day.
So you think it's a difficult subject, or
It
is
is
it
indeed.
Of course.
Yeah.
It is a very difficult
Yeah,
subject to know if you want to really know
this
it in
is the
depth.
one cause that everyone cannot do the art, you see.
Yeah,
So
true.
there has to be some selective people, those come up with the grading. And
Right.
so art grading, you see, you was talking about the grade, B grade or C grade. This is just concept, you see.
Yeah.
If you have the capability to do some work, so even if you are not say you have not attended any school, so you can do that job. Okay, so there is a lot of artists, they were not in old time, they were not school boys, so but they did very good art. So
This is one thing I will just take Javed sir here. I'll ask him to give me a moment to further elaborate on this.
Yeah.
He has picked up a very important point, which is unskilled artists who have not been, I mean, I will not call them unskilled artists, professional artists who have not been to college is something in India. We see there's a huge population of lot of artists who had picked up their formal careers as bureaucrats or industrialists or probably professors, but they are still they are avid learners toward and being great artists, because now a lot of government organizations who were used to give the gallery spaces like IIC or Indian Habitat Center or Triveni, they had this very typical rule earlier that they have to be an artist and who had come from so and so university and been practicing art for 7 to 10 years. But they have made this rule very comfortable now. Anybody can just submit their portfolio and it is completely skill based. If your portfolio is really strong, you can have the gallery to yourself and exhibit your shows. So he had made sure. I've really forgotten this point. Thank you, Javed sir, for letting me remember that, because yes, there are a lot of artists who have not received formal education and still they are passionately following their.
So the two things are very clear in it. That one, that it is not an easy job. Everybody cannot do that, right?
No.
Okay, so if someone say I want to learn English, then he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he says he don't have you say, creativity in his hands. So if he says, I will be a great painter, no, it is not like that, right? So that means it is not a job for everybody. It's for exclusive people. Those have the interest in doing the things, and someone says that it's a God blessing. Okay, so it's a God blessing. Otherwise, it cannot be done. You see, by learning, it cannot be done. So it's a God blessing. The one who is blessed, he can do the art. Otherwise, no. So the one thing is clear that it is a difficult job, not every person job. So that's why it is criticized a little bit, because everybody cannot do it. Okay. The second thing is that it doesn't need education, formal education. It doesn't need formal education, right? So these two things are so good in it, right? So that people says, okay, oh, so he is not a padha likha. I'm just going that he is not a learned person. So he is a illiterate person. How he will do the things also? So they will not believe on any other expertise. So, but when you say artist, they will believe, okay, illiterate can be an artist and artist, right? Good artist. So there is a university in UK that just take a test, and if you are a very good A grade artist, they will directly enroll you in PhD.
Wow.
Okay, so that's UK people doing it, but what we are doing in East, have you done a middle? So says, no, I have not done middle. How can you do matric? First you go for middle.
Yeah.
You see? So middle classes, you have to attend middle classes before matric. So you have to attend inter classes before after matrix. You see, so if you are not matrix, then you are not accepted, right, for inter and for after inter, so on, graduation and masters. If you produce a master degree and they said, where is your graduation? He says, oh, I haven't done graduation. How can you do master without doing graduation? So it's, but that university is doing that. Even performing artists, they listen performing artists, and then they decide whether he should be enrolled in master's degree, graduation, master degrees, or PhD. So they have given that. So rather than giving honorary degrees to such number of, there's a greater number of people, those don't have education, but they can do good. So they rather than giving honorary degree, so they give them enrollment into the classes where they fit in. So anyway, this was in between. I am just doing this promotional thing for artists, but it is the people who has to decide the status of every profession. So we used to hate cobblers. Why? Because he's just cobbler. He just
low level of work,
right? And all these things.
Yeah.
We could count him a low grade person. You see.
Right.
So now it's changed little. Things have been changed now. Those new generations are coming up. You people are very aesthetical and very diversified. So diversity, I see diversity in you people. So you don't mind who is doing what, but but I don't want to take the time of Akansha. So you have another question for me?
All right. Actually, I wanted to thank you, Javed, sir, about, and I will be borrowing one of your words, that is the honorary degree. So, the thing is, in Nepal, there are a lot of artists who haven't been to any university or trained in an institution basis, and there are a lot of kind of like they are trained as an apprentice. So, through household. So because of that, we were actually facing this problem with the artists who didn't have any, formal education, degrees. And because of your thoughts about how the UK is doing something like that, providing the honorary degrees for the artists who have like really amazing skill. And this is very fascinating. And thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you, in fact, because you have created different questions, and then I tempted to jump in, otherwise it's your field, so you have to take care of it. So I really wanted all participants to participate in talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather
actually,
than
I even had the introduction
yeah,
program.
they should they can interrupt it. I am doing this job because to give them a guide that you interrupt it and you can ask the question, or you can
yeah, of course.
tell a story about yourself or whatever it is. So today you have also telling a stories, your stories, because we wanted to include participants in this way.
Yes,
so we want to guide them that look, you can tell your story in between, no problem at all, because we we are there to stop you and ask questions to
true.
so
you
don't worry, you just so they
so generally
yeah.
Oh,
so,
the thing is, generally, whenever people keep on talking, I get this itch to talk, I'm not a very talkative person, but when the subjects are to my liking, I get this itch to talk, but I don't see that in our, friends.
No,
you can actually interrupt us.
Look, it's necessary. It's very necessary for talk show that we are not sitting in a lecture. In fact, we are we are sitting in a discussion mode. So we discuss the things with Akansha. That's so that we can take benefit of our expertise. And we learn something from Akansha. So this is the way. So now I have introduced the 5 to 10 minutes talk show. You must have been seen a poster of new lunch. So I have
actually I didn't understand that.
Okay, so you must say, and that is I called it new lunch and given a border, a decorative border to make it a beautiful menu. So there museum people can from museum gallery have a 5-minute or 10-minute quick talk show, right? So they with their mobile cameras, they can toggle front camera and back camera of mobile, and they can give us a view of their gallery. This is museum gallery, and they can tell us about the museum gallery and their a little bit about themselves. So this is a very interesting for those people who don't have a time. Time means they cannot spare time. They are very, very busy people. So they can, for instance, Dr. Dhan. Dr. Dhan is a very busy person. He is in ministry and also taking. Oh, he is here because of me, because I asked him, no, you have to come. So otherwise, he is a very busy person. So, if I ask him to give an interview, he will say, I don't have a time, so I will say 5 minutes only. Okay. So in 5 minutes, so we can learn a lot of things from him. Even Professor Gala is there, and then this Reena Dewan, and we can ask them and request them for a 5 to 10 minute show. So even there is a president of your Nepal, ICOM, It's a good name.
Yeah.
Very good name.
Suresh. Suresh Lakhe.
Yeah.
Suresh Lakhe.
Suresh Lakhe.
Right.
Suresh Lakhe. Yeah, we can ask him for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He in his office table can give us a 5 minute easily. So 5 minutes doesn't matter a lot. So 1.5 hours or 2 hours give a time little bit, okay, to think that whether I can spare this time or not. So this is because that, and we will do that. And I will also request our regular participants that they recommend us. They offer themselves that we are here, okay, 5 minutes, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So we will take them, okay, as so this is the way we will pass this Christmas holidays or events or this, even Christmas. If somebody celebrating Christmas event, so he can ask for 5 minutes. We will give him 5 minutes, and he can show us around what is happening on that event. So there is a lot of flexibility in this program. So I would like and would love to see you in that program too. So Akansha.
All right.
Is there
so I think now we need to conclude the program. We had a very, very interesting talk with Akansha. And I think very, very lengthy talk too.
I will ask Dr. Dhan to give a comments. Dr. Dhan?
Yeah.
Are you there? Dr. Dhan?
Yes. Yes, sir, I am over here.
Comments, your comments on today talk.
It is really very interesting and fruitful also, because all of us, those who are involved in this program, can listen and can know each other very well, and their experience also. And Meena has very nicely coordinated this program, and especially what we have done in this program is very incredible, because you have nicely coordinated all these participants or all these ICOM friends. So it is very interesting. This is actually it is you who organize such type of program. Really, thank you very much. I don't have to say nothing today. Akansha Wadwani also presented many experiences, and Neelam and Meena also. They express their experiences and their feelings also, what they have experienced, maybe in different terms, views maybe differ, but in fact the whole actually we have to be it can help furthermore also to be very near and to know each other. I think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Especially Mohammed Saab.
How much
you
how
organize
much
all this program?
how much marks you gave
this.
to Akansha? How much marks you gave to Akansha?
Akansha?
Yeah.
She has got more than distinction.
Nice.
She has very nice experience from India to UK to Australia, wherever, what she had been gotten a lot of experience. She expressed over here, and she shared with us. That is very nice, very interesting. That may be different in time and place. That is another thing, but we came to know her experience also. So thank you. I say thank you, all of you. Thank you.
I appreciate your comments, and definitely, Akansha, you have done a good job. You see, so there is two things you are doing by joining us in this program. One, you are inspiring the youth to come up and say something, and somehow you are also inspiring the older generation too. because they are very shy. So in our time, we cannot say anything to father or grandfather, you see, because without their permission. So if they permits, then we say that. If they do not permit, then we. So you are the different generation now, okay? So if you are the generation where father has to ask, can I have a time to talk to you? So this is that advice. So definitely people from old generation, they are little bit shy, and particularly when I say that gave a time for talk show, then they say, me? No, how can it possible? So this kind of words I have to listen. So you are inspiring the two, youth and older generation too, with this talk.
The honor is all mine. It really
so
makes me feel
thankful.
good about it.
I'm so thankful to you and your family too, particularly Neelam. So Priya, there is Priya. Priya,
she has already left.
yeah, she's left. No,
it's fine.
So, pay my thanks to her. Okay. So at least she came there, and your mother, and also your brother-in-law. So I'm thankful to them too, and definitely you have done today. It's a lot of sharing of knowledge, you see, about art and art creation and art galleries and artists, and particularly Gandhi of art, you see. So these kind of things, how can we find these kind of things in formal presentation? No. You have you have to be straight away on the subject, you see. So you cannot deviate from that. Rather, you have to read a written script. You see, you cannot talk extempore. So you have to read the written script and then finish. That's it. So so we cannot, you see, exchange these love words. These are love words, rather. Okay. So these are love words where you can talk everywhere. Okay. Anytime you can talk, those are love words. So this sharing is more impressive than the subject sharing. You see, subject sharing is good for subject people. You see, but I always say that, you see, number of participants does not matter. Because why? Some of the subjects are so difficult that very few people are interested in those subjects. So, Shivani, anything you want to say?
Okay.
If not, then I have no question. But presentation is very beautiful. Hello.
Yes, listening.
Yeah. Presentation is very beautiful, very incredible. Thank you, Akansha ma'am, Meena, and you are my lovely, sweet, and Mohammed Javed Akhtar sir.
Mohammed Javed Akhtar Saab, not Mohammed Javed, Aditya Banerjee. Okay? Yeah. Just don't take a wrong name. Okay. Aditya, are you there? Aditya, are you there? Yeah. Your comments, please. Your mic is not, your mic is off.
I guess, yeah, sorry.
There is another dog.
It was a beautiful session.
Yeah.
And Akansha did mention her experience and everything.
Yes.
Really, it was a truly beautiful to hear about her life and her experiences.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And like, I'm not since into too much into art, so I cannot make any comments or anything.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But you see, art is not a difficult subject for understanding. it is a subject of entertainment. Assume so everybody understand entertainment, right? So doing is
Exactly, sir.
difficult. Yeah, doing is difficult.
Yeah, that
but
doing part is
understanding is
difficult.
not difficult. Yeah. So that is nice. You see, it is very good that Akansha family understand her. But
Yes,
slowly.
exactly.
So she was telling that her mother was not able to understand what I am doing. So when she got a job and there is a something good is start happening, so she said
Exactly.
that now she is doing good job. So this is yeah, this is like that even every society, you see. So Akansha, yes, where were you? Drinking water.
I think
I just went to refill my
Ah,
coffee.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So that's great.
We need that.
Yeah, definitely. We do need that.
Yeah. So how many of us understand Hindi?
Hum sab, I believe.
I understand.
Yeah.
I do, I think, because I can watch Hindi
Yeah,
movies.
you can raise my hand.
Yeah. Okay. Let's ask a question in Hindi. Meena?
So I can't ask question in Hindi.
Oh, yeah. You
I
cannot
understand, but I can't speak.
You cannot speak. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, you see, tell why I'm going in English. Yes. कुछ अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी का बताओ ना.
मैं सर अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के बारे में बताऊं?
हाँ.
अच्छा, जहां अभी मैं पढ़ा रही हूँ कि जहां से मैं पढ़ के आई हूँ?
नहीं, जहां तुम पढ़ा रही हो, पढ़ के आई तो हम समझ गए.
अच्छा, जहां मैं अभी पढ़ा रही हूँ वो यूनिवर्सिटी है सोनीपत और हरियाणा बॉर्डर्स पे, जिसके लिए मुझे रोज 1.5 घंटा एक तरफ ड्राइव करके जाना पड़ता है.
My God.
And then
I'm tired.
very taxing. But the best part, जो सबसे अच्छी बात है मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी की, वो ये है कि वो सिर्फ एक डेडिकेटेड क्रिएटिव यूनिवर्सिटी है, कि डिजाइन यूनिवर्सिटी है, जो बहुत ही डिफरेंट अपने आप में एक बोलते हैं कॉन्सेप्ट है. यूजुअली सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज बहुत सारी चीजें केटर करती हैं, बट मेरी यूनिवर्सिटीज में 5 स्कूल है: डिजाइन, फैशन, आर्किटेक्चर, विजुअल आर्ट्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन. तो ये 5 स्कूल के अंदर जितने भी डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स आते हैं हम वो पढ़ाते हैं. और बेस्ट पार्ट है क्योंकि सभी क्रिएटिव हेड्स हैं और सभी के दिमाग इतने चलते हैं, क्रिएटिवली हम सब क्रिएटिव, हम सब में कीड़ा है, तो इतना मजा आता है. माना छोटी यूनिवर्सिटी है, बहुत मेहनत लगती है ड्राइव करके जाना, 2 बार टोल देना, पैसे बहुत खर्च करना, कम्यूटिंग पे इतने पैसे खर्च हो जाते हैं हमारे वहां तक पहुंचने में. बट सब कुछ असाइड रखते हुए जो फन फैक्टर है, यूनिवर्सिटी बहुत लिबरल है. वो बहुत ओपन है हमारे न्यू आइडियाज को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए, बहुत ओपन है. प्राइवेट है, बहुत ओपन है.
Private, they got money, so they definitely they can spend on the activity. That's
lot
good.
of time it's not about spending also, sir. Lot of time it's about accepting what a young individual has to get on the table. वो एटीट्यूड भी बहुत जरूरी होता है. अगर वो एटीट्यूड नहीं है, बीइंग, अगर आप बहुत रिजिड हो बड़े होके और आप अपने यंगस्टर्स की बात ना सुने और बोले कि जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको वही फॉलो करना है, तो वहां मजा नहीं आता काम करके. सो यूनिवर्सिटी इज वेरी लिबरल. they are open to new ideas, they are open to new platforms, so the fun is to be there. And that is also making me not look for my PhD.
हाँ, आपका कौन सा डिपार्टमेंट है उसमें?
मेरा विजुअल आर्ट्स है सर, स्कूल ऑफ विजुअल आर्ट्स.
स्कूल ऑफ विजुअल आर्ट. तो क्या इंडिया में तमाम यूनिवर्सिटियों के अंदर कौन से नंबर पे आता है ये?
सर अभी हम प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज के अंदर 22nd नंबर पे आते हैं.
प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज तो कितनी है प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज? ये ना
सर प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज लगभग अगर हम आर्ट एंड डिजाइन की यूनिवर्सिटीज बात करें तो 1200 यूनिवर्सिटीज है.
1200? Oh, that's great. It's I think the whole area of Nepal must have been a university in India.
Completely.
Yeah.
Javed sir, I'll just
think so.
interrupt. Can we please wind
Yeah.
up in 5 minutes because I have
Yeah.
a meeting
I
of
actually
college
wanted to say.
lined up,
Right.
and they're just buzzing me time and again. Piche se.
So
Oh.
Javed sir, I think we can let
Yeah.
Akansha go. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to
No,
stay
no,
for a while, we
we
can
all
stay.
say goodbye, but without
Sure.
Akansha, there is no mehfil.
Right. True. True.
Okay, thank you, Neelam. Thank you, Akansha. Thank you, Dr. Dhan. Thank you, Uzma. Thank you, Shivani Sharma and
Woman.
Aditya Banerjee. Why Shivani Sharma? Why not Shivani Banerjee?
Sir, her name never got changed.
Okay, okay, then she has to go.
Everywhere, the same name.
Okay.
I'll just take a minute to thank everyone. Thank you so much once again for joining in. Thank you for making this such a warm and comfortable
Okay, thank you,
evening.
Meena, and bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone. Take
Akansha.
care.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thanks, Meena.
everyone.
Thanks, Dan sir. Bye.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Javed sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Meena.
Javed sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But you
Thank
see,
you, Meena.
without you, Meena, I was a week say Urdu pedal ho jana. Without. So,
It's just, you
so
know,
without you, Berkeley, without you, I would have been walking, not driving anything. So,
nothing like that.
yeah, this is your kind self who is running this program, in fact, and all these things. I don't know when she will be in a good health Sandeep, Sandeep. So hopefully she will be all right. She had COVID-19, and so she will take that will take time. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to find some assistant for you so that you could be at ease. So otherwise, it will be hectic for you.
Yeah.
In a week something you have to do, and another week something you have to do. It will become a regular job. So why to job in university or any other place? You know, it is difficult. It is difficult. So I'm finding that someone assists you. So somewhere
Sure,
you take care, someone they take care, so that jointly we can do that. So definitely we are doing a volunteer job. I myself spending a lot of money on it. So from my pocket, I didn't ask anybody to do that. Or neither I have any say benefit behind this program. So very clear. The one thing I can do, I could have get into election of ICOM, but I didn't. So because I don't like that. I'm happy in these programs. If you, as far as youth are active and you are giving time to this activity, so I'm happy in that. So we record it and we put it on the YouTube. So people comes and watch. I daily see that number is increasing. They show the number how many people watch the program. So if 200, 300 people watch it, so what should I do with the participation in this room? But we are enough. Dr. Dhan is there, and Shivani is there, as far Uzma is there. We have the regular people, and we can have a chit chat too. You see, what happened in Arab presentation, that talk show. Previously we had it. So what happened? That the number increased 33, and then it was become difficult to ask people that close your mic, please close your mic.
Yeah.
So this is so the things become a machli bazaar. So do you understand? Machli bazaar?
Yeah, true.
So we
Well,
have.
Aditya's favorite dish, machli.
Okay.
It means he cooks well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is there.
Right.
I think you are doing a very good job. So I'm really, I will ask Dr. Dhan and what was good name? Yeah, they just Dr. Shah something. Dr. Suresh. Suresh.
Oh,
Dr.
Suresh.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Suresh. So I will ask him too that they should keep you as their spokesperson.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Dr. Dhan?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I recommend Meena for ICOM Nepal spokesperson.
Okay.
Yeah.
She should give the time. That's no problem.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Right.
So she is now into many programs, and she now understands the spirit of ICOM, and also she knows many people now in ICOM. So she can prove a better spokesperson for ICOM Nepal in the other part of the world. So she can link rather. She can bring them their attention towards ICOM Nepal. So there is a lot of potential in her. So I have not selected her because of only this program, but I have selected. She has a lot of qualities in her. So I believe she can do much more better for ICOM Nepal too. So thank you very much indeed,
Okay.
and let's get permission from everyone. And bye bye. Thank you. So nice of you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Okay.
Bye
Bye.
Bye bye. I'm really very happy, you know. All right. Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.